Hello and welcome to our instructional video for how to play the review game for this Earth Day and Beyond course. At this point, you should have completed all of the work in Module 1 and all of the work in Module 2, so you are right here at the Blooket review game. If you open up this announcement or assignment, you see that there are two different kinds of links, okay? So we will start with just the overall assigned homework first. So that is Monster Brawl. So this link and this link, same thing. So I'm going to click it and it's going to open up Monster Brawl. So the very first rule that you need to know is you have to enter in your actual name. So I'm going to enter in Mrs. Willems. And then I'm going to start the game. The reason that we're using Blooket is because it is very user-friendly and it will walk you through how to play any Blooket you want. So we click Start Game, and then it shows you all the Blooks you can choose from. So essentially what you are playing for is Blooket points. You turn those Blooket points into Blooks. So the more points you get, the more rare Blooks you can get. So the hedgehog is the one I always pick. He's pretty common, but some of these down here, like this one was only out at Christmas time. There's a Halloween one. There's random French toast things. It's up to you. Use whichever Blook you want, but this is one of the things you can earn. And then you get a little more choice. So if you are really good at Monster Brawl and you've played a lot and you want to challenge yourself, go for the medium course. If this is your first time, I would recommend going for the Snowy Plains. Click the easy board. Same thing. I'm going to click normal mode because I have not played a lot. But if you are very good at Monster Brawl, challenge yourself. That's fine. Okay. Also, this is what I said about Blooket being very user-friendly. Every time you play a new type of Blooket, it will ask you if you want a tutorial. I always click yes to review what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to click yes. Our whole goal here is to collect these crystals. You get these crystals in the actual game board. So the background of this is the question. So these are the way questions will look. If you get a question correct, it's going to take you to the game board. If you get a question wrong, it's going to keep asking you questions until you get one right. So we're collecting crystals, and then we get the crystals by eliminating these monsters. So you can either fire things at them or run into them. And then the more crystals you get, the more leveled up you get. So you'll start at level 1, and you beat the game when you get to level 60. 60. So you have a long way to go if you want to beat the whole entire game. You do not have to get to level 60. It's just if you would like to. You are going to use the directional arrows, so the up, down, left, right arrow on your keyboard to move around either towards or away from the monsters. You don't want to run into the monsters because it's going to hurt your health, and I'll show you where your health bar is. If you see cheese, that will give you extra points and boost your health back up. So let's answer a question and we'll see where we're at. So how many marine species have been harmed by plastic? We're going to say 700. That is the correct answer. So it'll always tell you right away if you're correct or if you're incorrect. You click go next. And every time you get a question correct, you get an upgrade. So these are things that help you fight the monsters. So I'm just going to pick booming bubbles because that sounds exciting. So this right here is my health bar. This is how I know how I'm doing. So you just scroll down and you want to hit the monsters with your bubbles and see how I killed the monster. Then I get that experience point. Then I'm going to have another question. So what is something lumber companies have done to help prevent deforestation? I'm going to intentionally pick the wrong answer so you can see what happens. Ooh, okay, so now it definitely told me I was incorrect, but it will tell me the correct answer. So if I see this question again, I now know what the correct answer is. and then it'll ask me another question. In January of 1969, there were lots of oil spills. So same thing, it's going to give me another chance to get an upgrade. And then this button down here is your level button. So this is how you know what level you're on. Currently, I'm only on level 1, right? So you would keep going in this cycle. You would answer questions, you would pick an upgrade, and then you would go until you don't want to play anymore. So that is Monster Brawl. Now we're going to go back into Google Classroom, and I will show you what this other link is for. So in this one, so this link goes with this link. I'm going to click this. It'll take us to the actual hosting site for the Blooket. So the reason why we are doing this Blooket is because it is reviewing everything that you have learned in modules 1 and 2. So your learning objectives for module 1 and 2, if you remember, are about can you identify the causes of the first Earth Day? What are current issues affecting the Earth? Environmental issues affecting the Earth. So all of those things that you have already learned, that's what these questions are about. And then you have some questions that are asking you to like just remember things that I've already taught you, that you've already read about, you've already seen. But then there are other questions when you get towards the end that are going to ask you to problem solve or put yourself in a situation. What would be the best course of action? So that's what we've been trying to do in this course, right? We don't want to only be able to identify why Earth Day happened, why it was founded, but what were actions that people took in order to make sure that happened? What are people doing to raise awareness for things happening now? And then what are things that you can do to make change in your day or your life right now? Okay. So that's like which action would reduce deforestation or which would negatively impact the environment. Okay. So things you have already seen. I don't want you to be scared of how many questions are in this Blooket. But let me show you what the second link is doing. So the second link, if you hate Monster Brawl, if you're like, oh, Mrs. Willems, I did not want to play that. Here is the solo button. You click this. You can pick any other Blooket you would like. It does not matter. Pick a different version. Or if you're like, you know what, I really want to play with a couple of my friends. Here you go. You click on host. And I know a lot of you really love Gold Quest, excuse me. So we're going to host, and then we're going to host, and here's our game ID. This is what we are going to share with all of our friends so we can all play together. As always, if you have any questions or trouble logging in, things like that, please let me know. I would be so happy to help you. Good luck. You're going to do great. I will see you in Module 3.